I have a handful of always rules that I have and that I use for my coaching services and my clients. Of course, the first one is the typical ABC rule. Always be what? Closing. Of course.
Welcome back to Life at 10 Tenths, where we coach real estate agents out of burnout into high-performing businesses that fuel their life. Oh my gosh, we're back again. I got Matt Benelli, and we have a very special guest with us today. And a little bit of background. Brandon Bafooney is a gentleman that I got to see on stage many years ago and got a chance to meet in person. And through just time and where we're at in our world, I reached out to Brandon to see if he'd be willing to join us on the podcast, bring his knowledge, bring his expertise, and we are so grateful to have you with us today. Sir, welcome to Life at 10 Tenths.
Thank you, Mr. Freeze. Hello, Mr. Bonellini. Greetings and salutations. It's excellent to see you both. I see you're in teal rooms with artistry on the walls behind you.
But yes, we we branded ourselves in our offices, in our world. Again, it's such a pleasure to be talking with you this morning. And again, where are we going today? What are we going to be able to get from you, sir?
Well, Mr. Free, I was thinking we'd talk a little bit about what I've been working on recently. I've got some excellent productivity tips ready for your audiences. I've been working on some great things. I've got some new ideas to share, and I just thought we'd take it from the top and see where this puppy goes.
I love this. This is going to be great. Mr. Bafooney, thank you for joining us. I mean, gosh, I can't believe that you actually had the time to fit us in today, because Garrett's been telling me about you for years, raves about, this event that he went to that transformed his life. And a lot of people already know who you are, but for the people who don't, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and maybe kind of like how people might know you, the publications and things that they would know you from?
Well, certainly, Mr. Bononoli. It's been a lot of time on the stage, a lot of the speakings and the seminars and the successfulness since 2009 when I first started. And frankly, I don't remember anything before that, but I know this one thing. I know my mission. It informs my work, and I can feel it in my coccyx. My mission is this. If after watching any of my productions, or perhaps some of my success speaking seminar specialties, if someone has seen any of my work and they feel just a little bit smarter, my work is done.
Yeah, that's a great thing to shoot for. I think all for all of us in what we're trying to do here. So
yes,
let's jump in. Like, I know a lot of our audience is trying to productivity in their life to be more efficient, to be more effective. And I do know this is something you've spent a lot of time, a lot of work on. So let's jump into this. What are some tips and tools you have for productivity in people's worlds?
Well, there's so many, Mr. Freets. I've done so many publications. I mean, as you've seen, most of my work is in person on the stage, but I've put out a few publications in my time for the real estate community. You may be familiar with my best-selling pamphlet that I published entitled Post to Produce, Placing Your Business Card on Coffee Shop Bulletin Boards for Maximum Profit.
That's I haven't heard of that one taught in a while, at least not on a professional level. Did you have any tips on how to do this, like the best way possible?
Well, it just makes sense. When you're there at the Chipotle or something and there's people by the bathroom, why not use that marketing space? Just get inside their heads as they're about to go into the bathroom for something. And of course, at Chipotle, that's often a place that people use that bathroom, at least in my town. Oh, perhaps you've heard of my think piece that I published called Super Duper Sales Tips for Winners Who Aren't Losers.
I love that.
Like
I mean, because
winners who aren't losers,
you're losing, right? Is that
exactly? You see the beauty and simplicity, and the things that are most simple are the most powerful, don't you think? Oh, surely you've seen my award-winning book, Using Modern Technology to Win Business, which we've just released on Microfiche.
Speaking of that modern technology, everybody's talking about artificial intelligence. Is that going to be the next book?
Oh boy, it's just too artificial for this guy, Mr. Boneloni. But next, let's talk about some other things.
What would you like to talk about?
Well, I have so many teachings to share with you nice then. Boy, I mean, just starting with the principles, let's strip it down and get really basic. What are the 3 things that people are going to work with you with? There's 3 things that someone's going to work with you, right? What? They know you, they like you, and what?
Trust you?
They fear you.
Oh, that's
Okay.
great.
So what I've been doing for my appointments, I bring an air horn with me. And if someone says, I think we're going to write a low offer, there goes the air horn. That way they have a little bit of fear and they're more committed to the purchase.
Do you find that guides them in the right direction to be able to make better decisions in the future?
No question about it. There's nothing like a little fear for motivation.
Wow. We've got to try this next time.
That is a really good one. What else do you have? I mean, that's a great tactic we can start to deploy right away. What would be
Excellent.
another thing that we should be encouraging all real estate agents to do?
I have a handful of always rules that I have and that I use for my coaching services and my clients. Of course, the first one is the typical ABC rule. Always be what? Closing. Of course. There are many things in this world, Mr. Bonoli and Mr. Frietz, that are left open. Doors, appliances, people's mouths. For those of us who truly feel successful and productive in life, we are the closers in life. See that cabinet door? Bam, it's closed. The dishes are safely secreted away. Doesn't that feel better? Now that those are hidden, we can be more productive with life. Do you see where this could be helpful?
I do. Particularly in listing photos, a lot of people leave the toilet seat lid open instead of
that's a big
closing
no-no.
it.
What a great reminder, Matt. Always be closing.
Always
Just keep
be
that in
closing.
mind with all of your photography.
I've also found another rule that works for me is always be unique. That's one I'm using a lot right now. For instance, make your sales signs unique. Use a creative color, for instance, a pattern even. My signs, both for open house and in the front yard, all camouflage.
Oh, so they're very visible.
Do you see how this might help your business? I think it's pretty obvious.
Do you find that that's a successful strategy, the camouflage? Has that been working well for you?
Well, we're still waiting for the numbers to come in, but we're really going to give it a go.
I think it's a great strategy.
I also use it for my coming soon signs. And listen, I'm putting coming soon signs on everything, on all my listings. Sometimes I'll even put a coming soon sign in front of the yard of a listing that I haven't met the seller yet.
That is
Well,
now. I would assume that opens up some very good quality conversation.
Exactly, Mr. Bubbly. Does that start a discussion? You bet it does.
I wonder if there's any rules around putting coming soon signs on homes that you haven't actually listed yet. Have you found any issues with that at all, or is that working okay?
Well, Mr. Frietz, if I'm being honest, it has yet to lead to a listing, but boy, have I had some spirited conversations with people.
Your database is growing by the minute. I mean, a lot of agents are struggling to grow their database. And
I think they should consider that as a prospecting tool.
yeah.
I mean, a spirited conversation is better than no conversation, right?
That's what I always say.
Yeah. Now, one thing agents struggle with, Mr. Brandon, is that they sometimes get in their head, right? They're not mentally prepared for this game of real estate. And we try to encourage people and provide them with tools and strategies on how they can get their head right. And I know that you are a big fan of affirmations as well, right? Do you have some kind of tips and tricks around that and the process that people can use and deploy right now to help elevate their mindset so that they can go and sell more homes?
Oh, excellent question. Those are right on. You probably know this, Mr. Bonolini and Mr. Frietz. The word affirmation comes from the Greek. Affirma, meaning to tighten, and ascens for the posterior of the body. So it actually leads to firm buttocks. I'm trying to say as many affirmations as possible, and in fact, I thought maybe we'd do a few here today together, if that would be okay with you two gentlemen.
Yeah,
I think it'd be a great idea.
I find this works really well. Now, when you say your affirmations, speak like I do and just bring it all the way down from the coccyx and bring it out as you say the thing. So I'll say something and then you repeat after me. Does that work for you both?
Perfect.
Excellent. Okay. I just have a couple here, and I have hundreds of these, of course, but these were the ones that seemed to work for this situation. Okay, here we go. From the coccyx now. I don't chase success.
I don't chase success.
I send it a calendar invite.
I send it a calendar invite.
Isn't that inspirational?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Here's another. Are you ready? I am the keynote speaker.
I am the keynote speaker.
At the conference inside my head.
At the conference inside my head.
Nice job. Maybe a little bit more from the coccyx, Mr. Freets.
Sorry, I will do better next time.
Okay, here's the next one. Here we go. I am strong.
I am strong.
I am good.
I am good.
I am not a dirigible full of farts.
Can you say the last line one more time? I think I missed it.
I am not a dirigible full of farts.
I am not
I heard it right.
a dirigible.
Do you have any other affirmations we should be working on?
Oh, I think that's probably enough for now. I don't know about you, but I feel inspired.
So
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to run through a brick wall.
Excellent. That's what we're looking for.
So, Brandon, I know that you're a master of communication with people and building relationships and building connections. And I would love to know if you have any strategies around this that can help the listeners and our audience.
Excellent question, Mr. Pomfreets. You know, when you're building conversations with people, you need to have a series of questions to ask, to build more, to learn more about them. And I've come up with a handy-dandy harmonica device. And I use this word to remember things to ask people. Ford questions.
Ford. You pronounce that Ford?
Ford questions.
Okay.
Okay. There's a lot of letters there. So does this pack down into an acronym or?
Oh, sorry. Yes, that is an acronym. And the W is silent.
Oh.
I think it's Norwegian.
For those of you listening on audio, Brandon shared, and if you want to put it up again one more time, Ford, PHORDW. So now the W is silent, so it doesn't stand for anything. It's just there.
Well, I'll tell you exactly what the acronym harmonica device stands for in a moment.
Okay.
It's spectacular. I mean, I'm really excited to see where you go with this.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pomfreets. First of all, of course, the P stands for people. That makes sense, right? So when you're talking to your clients and your friends, just remember P is for people. Ask them, who are the people in their neighborhood? In their neighborhood.
Okay.
In their neighborhood. Say, who are the people in their neighborhood? The people that they meet each day.
That makes sense.
Yeah. You see how that could help in their business? I think it can.
100%.
And of course, the H is one of my favorites. It's for happiness. We all love happiness, right?
Yeah.
It's good to find out what the person is happy by, what makes them happiness. You know, it could be a nap. It could be some chips and salsa. And if they write the offer and the offer doesn't work out, you could just go, well, hey, how about you have some chips and salsa and a nap, and we'll try again tomorrow.
By knowing the happiness question, what I love about this, Brandon, is it gives you a place to go back to when things are maybe not going successfully.
Excellent. Yes, I like that idea, because who knows what kind of chips and salsa celebrations could happen once things go in the right way. Perhaps you could even use that as a motivator. Just imagine themselves in a giant bowl full of chips with salsa. Put them in that happy place and just let things go where they will.
Swimming in salsa.
Now let's move on, shall we?
I think that's the new thing is we want to be swimming in salsa.
That's an excellent place to be. I know I'd be happy. Maybe a little tingly. Next, let's talk about the O for organ donation. Are they registered organ donors? Why or why not? What is their favorite organ? I think you can learn a lot about a client by knowing how they feel about their spleen.
You know, in this moment, I'm realizing how many of my clients and friends and people that I have around me that I've never taken the time to actually get to know this. And I'm going to make it a new rule for myself to figure out if they're organ donors. This is spectacular.
Excellent. That's exactly the kind of conversation we're hoping to encourage with this harmonica device.
Do you really know somebody if you don't know what their favorite organ is?
Well, there you go, Mr. Bonaloni. That's the big question. I mean, it's a level of intimacy we don't get with everyone we know.
No.
Very few. Very few.
Of course, R is for recreational medicines. What kinds of recreational medicines are they enjoying right now? Is it baby aspirins? Are they having those gummy for the fingernail follicles and the hair extenders? Perhaps there's a musty collection of fingernails under their bed that they whiff every morning before they leave the house. I'm not here to judge. Wherever they get that, it gives them a good sense of motivation. Do you see how this can help your clients? I think it's a good one.
I think that's a very, very strong thing to know about your clients.
Indeed.
Just like the organs. I'd like, do you know somebody if you don't know these things?
That's an excellent point. Well said. And that brings us to the next one. D stands for DER. Are they really buying or selling a house? I mean, what are we doing here? This can save you hours a week. You could just say, well, is this actually going to go somewhere? Are we going to do something? DER. I got to go if not. It's a form of direct communication that I think we could all use in our lives.
Without a
That's
doubt.
pronounced, that's der.
Also from the Norwegian.
That's where it comes from. That's why I'm not familiar with it. Perfect.
Indeed.
And
It's
do you
3
place
R's.
this after you ask the question, or is it when you're asking the question? So is it like, are you actually going to do something or is it actually going to do something pause?
You know, I think that the listener and viewers should adapt it to their particular style. It depends on the pausings.
That makes sense. The pausings make the play.
It's going to take some practice, Matt. The der is going to take some practice.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as natural. I think it's probably the Norwegian background of it is probably why we're really need to work with this one.
Yeah, I think so.
Der.
Der. We have one more letter that I'm really curious about here, because in the Ford technique that you're using, there's a W?
Indeed, and it's perhaps the most powerful of the letters. This W stands for, what's with the hat? Just look at something about their appearance that stands out. Perhaps they have a giant freckle. You could say, what's with the freckle? Is this going to open up conversations? I think so. Maybe some scar tissue. Oh, I see you have that scar by your eye. What's with the scar? We're getting to a level of intimacy that just makes everything so much easier.
And not uncomfortable at all.
This is definitely going to deepen relationships.
That's what I think.
It's
It's been pretty successful in my business.
I think those two, the two that I out of your system that you have here, are we harmonic? What do you refer to it as?
Oh, it's a harmonic device? That's the term that the psychologists use.
So the harmonic device, my two favorite out of it are actually the organ donation, because I'm going to apply that right away, and the what's with the silent W in Ford, and it's funny, I've never even thought about going that direction with somebody and pointing something out like that as a way to start conversation.
They may be asking for you to ask them about it.
Maybe that's why they have the scar to begin with, is actually maybe they're trying to start conversations.
Won't they feel more comfortable if everyone knows that there's a scar on their face?
It's a great plan.
It's worked for me.
I got to imagine this is what helps people get to buying into selling decisions too, because can you really trust your agent if they haven't asked these questions about you? No one's going to offer this information, right? It's a dance. Are they actually interested in me? And until they ask about my organs, maybe not.
Exactly, Mr. Bubbly.
Man,
That's awesome.
I'm taking such great notes. I know the listeners are as well. This is absolutely amazing. So that is the harmonic device for communication, building solid relationships. Are there any other tips that you have around that or other things that, we really should, I mean, we've covered great affirmations, harmonic devices. What else do we got for realtors here?
Well, I came up with an idea just today that I'm working on. And, when you really look at your day of productivity and how much work you're doing in the day, if you think about it, everything comes down to one little decision you make in a day. It could be a thousandth of the day, a little tiny piece of the day. So I think if you analyze that and look at the thousands of options in the world, it's worth perhaps me starting a podcast, and I'm going to call it Life at a Thousand Thousandths.
I think it's a great time. Where did you have a place that came up from, or did you just pull that out of thin air?
It just came to me today. Actually, right before we started talking, I realized, what if it was about a thousandth of a thousandth of a thousandth of a thousandth? It can go down to just a little tiny piece.
Really narrowing it down to the important stuff is what I'm hearing.
It could be anything. It could be just, boom, right there. Oh, there it went. There's the thousandth. And it was the thousandth of a, there it goes again. So if I'm thinking about these thousands of thousandths, my success is going to just incrementally explode.
Incremental change.
Mind-blowing stuff.
All back to incremental changes.
Exactly.
Consistency,
amazing.
Right?
Sure. Amazing. Sure. Okay, so with our time together, and I want to respect your time because I know your time is valuable. Are there any other nuggets, things that we need to be thinking about, things you can give our audience that we should be paying attention to that you want to leave us with?
Okay, here's a secret that we're doing at my brokerage office that I can share with you and your listeners. Think of it as a little bonus. There's something that we've done at our office. We think it's important to always be really challenging yourself. So we went into the bathrooms and we raised all the urinals 14 inches.
What?
This way people are reaching, really stretching themselves to get things done. I call this the trickle-down effect.
I mean, they say if you're not being pushed outside your comfort zone, outside your limits, are you actually growing?
Exactly. That's it. That's it. And that way they can really stretch to their goals and their targets. Start working in little ways. That's like a thousandth of their day.
So what, I'm just curious, what was the thought that went into 14 inches? Was that just the kind of the place that you thought would just push it outside of the comfort zone, or was that, what made you come up with that?
Well, we had to have a standard, didn't we, Garrett?
It always has to be a standard.
Indeed. And that seems like just the right amount to go a little above the belly button.
Man, this sounds
amazing. Sorry, Mr. Bobley, what was that?
Please continue.
There is one other thing that we're working on at Bafooney Industries, and I'm very pleased with it. Imagine this. You're on an important phone call. Someone walks up to you, and they interrupt you. They don't realize that you're on the phone call, so they interrupt you. Well, we have come up with this little subtle device, and it's used to indicate when someone is on the phone. It pairs with your telephone device, and it can be just a way of saying, hey, subtly here, I'm speaking on the phone right now. I can't be interrupted because it's very important. Would you like to see it?
This is important. I think this happens all the time, especially during
you
important phone calls.
Audio, you need to jump over to YouTube to see this incredible device.
We're still working on some of the kinks, but this is it's pairing with my phone right now, and it's a subtle way of telling someone when you're on the telephone, because this way we're not going to get any interruptions, are we?
So is this a prototype, or is this something that people can actually go and pick up for themselves if they see this and they want to have one?
Well, we're still tinkering with things, but we think it should be available on Amazon very soon under Bafooney Industries. And, we're still working on the chin strap. It's a bit tight. It's actually driving my teeth into my soft palate. I'm sure they can work that out in the lab, though.
Yeah, because if you're on the phone, you still want to be able to talk.
Exactly.
I guess, right?
I feel like it's squishing my head. Are my eyeballs going different directions?
You look great. You look absolutely wonderful.
I was just telling myself that before we started talking today. That's one of my affirmations. Wait. I think I'm getting a telephone call.
Oh, is
that's impressive.
The light is going.
It'll just go to voicemail. Let's just let it go to voicemail.
That is very, very, very impressive. So that goes off every single time to alert people that you're actually on a call?
Exactly. It's subtle, isn't it?
But it gets the message across.
I think one of my eyeballs is coming out of my skull.
That's another way to. Oh, does that mean
I
you're
think
getting
it's
another
ringing
call?
again. I think the call is coming back. Well, listen, they've called me twice. This might be something important.
I think you should maybe go take it, I guess.
Yes, I think so. Mr. Pomade, Mr. Bolognese, thank you so much. It's been an honor speaking with you both.
Brandon,
thank you.
yeah.
I better get this call.
Wow.
Okay.
This is,
Thank you both.
ladies and gentlemen, the great Brandon Bafooney.
Hello, Bob. Oh, yes.
I guess
Sorry about that, Bob.
if you want to follow up with him, you could go find Brandon Bafooney on Instagram,
Bob,
or
he's
well, maybe
still
not. Maybe find him at
Buyers
Chipotle.
and sellers and buyers.
But as always, guys,
all about the
we give
people,
you
Bob.
guys the real information, things that help you grow, because your business should fuel
Okay.
your life, not consume it. And so thank you, Mr. Bafooney, for joining us today.
Thank you, everybody, and happy April Fools.
April Fools, baby.